Obviously, disappointed with the result on Saturday. Felt like it was a football game that was going to be a great matchup and a game that we felt like we had a chance to win. As I've said to our players, I think it's really, really important for us right now as a coaching staff and really a football program is to have a very calculated response. Not to overreact, not to underreact, but just to be very disciplined in the way that we see things. What I've asked our guys not to do is not to settle for the narrative of how we're just a couple plays away. I think that's a deadly, deadly thing when you start saying things like that. Um, I think I showed them probably 45 plays yesterday that could have been the difference in the game. And so, for us, this is what the Big Ten is. It's going to be exciting games that come down to the end, and you always have to make one more play than your opponent. We had our opportunities, we didn't get it done. Probably, obviously, perhaps the most disappointing thing was just, was just the fact that they controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides. What I will say is what's frustrating about it is it's really three big runs on offense. I think equated to about 168 yards. Now they made the plays, right? So it's not like, oh well, those are okay. But one's a nice call by them on the quarterback draw where someone just kind of has to make a play, right? They have sort of the numbers advantage, and you just have to make a play. We didn't get it done. They made the play. One is an outside zone right before the half where just several guys just didn't execute their assignment, and we missed a tackle. Okay, so it just has to be what it is. And then the third one's we're just not quite lined up right, not quite communicated right, and we have three guys really on one side instead of having a guy in the post, and so very self-inflicted wounds. I think the important thing for our football team is not to say, as I said, not to say it's just one play, and not to say it's just, hey, this position group has to play better. I think everybody can play better. We had so many chances to make more plays. We're a step away on a punt return. We just barely step out of bounds on a touchdown catch. I mean, so many, and it's not just those plays. So many opportunities to go out and win the football game. And so, as always, I think it's just really important that we take ownership, but stay very neutral. And not overreact, not underreact, but just try to get better. And that's what we'll do. But we know that we have an excellent football team. We believe that with all our heart. We're throwing the ball at a high level. We're covering people at a high level. We have to eliminate the explosive plays. And we obviously, if we give Dylan time, not many people can cover us. So we're just going to have to do a better job of protecting the pocket. And I don't want to in any way minimize their players.